We talking about these hypocrites. Remember, it's about those hypocrites who wanted you to vote for them.
Good day, everybody. I'm here to discuss, address, and confront the elephant in the room. I want to talk about the things that people don't want to talk about, the things that people don't want to say. So, I was watching this live, keeping it real, and they were discussing the election. They talked about how Arsenal won due to the endorsements, the lack of black people voting, so forth and so on. I'm sure to be easy to find, and I'm going to add pieces of that live into this video because I want to respond to some of the things that were said that I feel like they were being heard, but they weren't being heard. You know, some people, when you confront people with the truth, they rather just avoid it, and that's how I feel like that they was doing. That's how I feel like that they do a lot of times when it comes down to certain situations. Now, I'm going to say this: not everybody is voting because of skin color. Not everybody choose to have a political preference. I vote for who I feel like is right. My advice was to get all the Negroes out. You know, I voted for the white man, me myself. So it wasn't a lack of votes. It was just this, you know, some other side of the bullshit. Some other side of the bullshit. Me, myself, I'm one of them. See, let's talk about these mayors that we've had. Cedric, Ali, and Perkins. Not one of them have done nothing for the black community. And if they have, it was somebody that they picked or chose. It wasn't as a whole. It was favoritism. You know, they'll come up, they'll show up on live and talk about what they gonna do. Suits and ties, lies in disguise. However, why give another black the opportunity to get in there and magically turn white? The invisible Caucasian wearing black skin, but they went in there. They sold us out. House niggas, Uncle Tom, sellouts. You know, this live, what they did this morning, it sounded very convincing to someone who is not aware of what they're talking about, who's not aware of the history of the city officials. I'm trying to see how these people can oversee the city when, hell, some of them got bigger charges and crimes than what I do. I'm trying to understand. But they don't want to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Michael made a statement. If I'm not mistaken, it was Michael. He said that it doesn't matter. He would never go against his own for the other race. He don't care what they done. He won't go against a brother or sister for a white person, it don't matter. I don't understand. Do he understand the words that came out of his mouth that they...
Get in here, man. Having a talk for 4 days, man. So come on, man, get in. We let him do it. We let him do it.
Y'all, the preacher done showed up. It's time for him to go in. Come on, Mike.
Sermon time.
I'm the cleanup man.
I see you, Carl.
Come on, clean up,
I'd like
man.
to say good evening to our show. We're happy you're still with us, and I'd like to echo what's been said in the room. We recycle the same old people who put us in the mess we in. There should be
You're right,
some
Carl.
consequences for crossing over the Red River. I would call the Republican Party as a Democrat. We have
You're right, Roy Burrell. He said, unfortunately, we still have haters of our own. Terrible history. You're right, Commissioner Roy Burrell.
it's amazing how, regardless of what other national, other race do, regardless of what Republicans do, they stick together,
They stick together
against a black Democrat or a black man. I have never seen in the history of America, of Shreveport, national politics, where three former black Democratic mayors endorsed a white Republican policies, which the party of David Duke, the party of John Kennedy, and Donald Trump.
Come on, man.
The policy do not help the poor people in our community, and our poor people got to get off their butt and go vote. And unfortunately, the people that voted are the people that's part of the problem. And the people that we fight for the most and try to help the most do not get up and exercise the most sacred right we have is voting. The most sacred right that people have died, killed, shot, murdered, got washed down with hoses, hung, fled, jugged, jabbed, and we won't even get up and go vote, but we'll do everything else and get up and go to the club, the casino, go to the crack house, go to the eyelids, toenails, get the hair done, the weed, go to dealers, and spend our clothes, spend our money with all these other people that don't even look like us. So the people look like you ain't really for you. So the Uncle Tom ain't just white, they black. Because the good old boys, like I said, they got a black head, but they got a white body. And we allow people to uncover them sheets, uncover their sheets now. They uncover the masks off, and they show you who they really are. And watch this. I believe if they run again, black people still gonna vote for Cedric Glover.
Yeah.
If I promise you, they're gonna have some Negroes that support the ideology, political philosophy of Cedric Glover is to rob from Peter and pay Paul. That's all they just did is took the food, took the power away from the people that had the power and gave it back to Pharaoh, gave it back to Willie Lynch, gave it back to Jim Crow, the Doctary days. And you go see what you have done to your people, what you have put the curse, the cycle of have and have not, the cycle of takeaway, the cycle of giving away all the good resources, all the good programs that's supposed to be going to the community, going to the people, special interest, and not the people interest. I'm talking about the politician, the preacher, the business folk, and the folk where the resources should go or not go get where they need to go. But they go use them to get the numbers, to get the national money, to get the rescue money, and the money earmarked to go to the black neighborhood. They ain't gonna never get there. They go around like they've been going round and around. We're not gonna benefit and get the resources. It's a shame before God. God put people, allow people to get in these power positions to help God's people. And God's people come in all color, race, and creed and parties. Parties. It ain't about just black folk. They're poor white people and brown people that don't suffer by decisions that we made to put this man and the special interest of the black people. They special in. They little cliques. They don't worry about their cliques. They're not worried about the majority. They worry about the minority of people that's going to benefit and get contracts. Let their friends get those special little jobs up there.
That's right.
But it's not about the majority, it's about the minority. I don't see nothing change as it is until they show us that there's going to be a change. So I hope that, look, we got some more elections coming up now.
Yeah, next year.
We ain't got to make the same mistake again.
Twice.
Cedric wants to be a senator.
That's right.
Send him to the House where he belongs, the state Republican Party, the local Republican Party. He need to be held accountable. He need to be put in timeout for the rest of his life. And he need to go ahead, Cedric, go ahead and be a Republican, brother. Just go ahead and switch party. Just do which party. All y'all that supported the Republicans, just go ahead and switch party. Stop using black power to get green power. And we got to stop being ignorant and stop being bamboozled and hoodwinked and allow people to take advantage of our power. And we got to hold people accountable.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All of them are looking for something, Mike. All of them looking for something, y'all. Let's go back to what we said a moment ago, y'all. Lonzy, what's up, baby? We see you. Lydia Bennett, we see you. Melissa Everett, we see you. So let's recap this thing, y'all. Again, we say congratulations. Swing around, let's. Again, we say congratulations to Tom Arsenault. This ain't about Tom winning. Yolanda Bowman said, "You're so right. Senator Tarver gave his blood, sweat, and tears to help his people, and they turned around and stabbed him in the back." Listen, hey, E. Janelle Henderson, we see you. But listen, you're right about that. Kimberly Wilson, that's real there. Absolutely right. And so, but let's go back, y'all, to what let's recap. We said in the beginning of the show, the reports came out. Patrick Dawson said, "Can anybody tell me why black people in Shreveport will not vote?" Oh, no, but you know, Punchers, we said maybe they should put a voting machine at every liquor store. Put a voting machine at every Southern Classic Chicken.
Make it mandatory.
Put a voting machine. Put them in the clubs.
On the corner.
Put them at the food stamp office. Put them somewhere. You know, we don't know what it's going to take to make black folk get up and go vote, other than the fact that, like Michael said, the government should make it a mandate that black folk have to vote. Not just black folk, all folks that's on government assistance. It should be a mandate that you have to vote, or you lose your food stamps, you lose your welfare, you lose your housing vouchers. I bet y'all get up off y'all ass and go vote then. And I did say get up off y'all ass because ain't no radio containing us right now.
That's right. You couldn't talk about a donkey.
That's right. Get up off y'all donkey ass and go and vote. You know, the bottom line is, hey, Ann Pipkin, let's recap, y'all. We said in the beginning of the show, y'all, the report came out that 50%, 50 or 51% of Democrats voted this time around. Democrats came out in larger numbers to vote than Republicans. Less than half, 26 or less percent of Republicans came out to vote. 26% or less Republicans came out to vote, and it was 24% other, which means Mexican, Asian, other folks, right? So the bottom line is, if 50% of the Democrats came out and voted, how did Greg lose? Well, we're going to tell you how.
I know, teacher.
The Democrats, and we've talked about it with Greg's team, and they feel the same way we do. What happened is a lot of the white Democrats voted
Dixiecrats.
They voted Dixiecrat, and they went across the party line as well, and they voted with Tom Arsenault. That's the only way it could have happened. That's the only way it could have happened. But we want to talk about these. Let's go back to talking about these. Love the black community so much. I am black power. I am black power. You know, let's go and talk about it. You know, like we told y'all before, Cedric Glover, when he ran, he wanted y'all to vote for him. Why? Because he was black and he was Democrat. He didn't have a college education. He didn't have a degree. He didn't even have a job. You knew him from marching with the 100 black men of the Cooper Road. That's all you knew him for. But guess what? We still, in our ignorance, we got up and we went and voted for this guy 2 times, no less. He became a 2-term mayor. And then after that, he became a state representative. What's wrong with us in Shreveport? I don't know. Okay, also, Ollie Tyler. She went from being the superintendent. Do y'all know that a superintendent is one of the highest paid positions in Louisiana politics, if not the highest? Louisiana politics, a school superintendent makes around $250,000 a year. No other salary pays that kind of money. All right, so she went from being that to a mayor. All right, and so after she did, Then in comes Adrian Perkins. We all know the story. We all know the scoop. We know that Greg Tarver, along with Lynn Braggs and Theron Jackson, they brought Adrian Perkins to the big dance, right? And so when that fight took place, for whatever the reason, Lynn Braggs, Theron Jackson, Whitehorn, all of them went south. Greg Tarver and them went left, and those other guys went right. And so whatever happened there, happened there. So Greg Tarver, who we call the godfather of Louisiana politics, decided, hey, I'm going to run for mayor and change some things, right? And again, let me say that we've always had an open door to Adrian Perkins. He's always opened the door for us. Anytime we called a meeting with him, he met with us. Did he make some missteps along the way? Sure he did, and we told him so. See, one thing about us, we don't swing like Tarzan from tree to tree. We don't jump on the next popping thing or who we think we don't ride nobody else's wave because we got our own wave. See what I'm saying? So we're not like a lot of you bed hoppers. A lot of you bed hoppers out there, y'all go jump on what y'all swing like Tarzan. When you see this dude, his wave done played out, you go swing to the next tree. Well, we don't do it like that. We keep it real. We might as well keep it fake if we don't keep it real. Right. And so the bottom line is this, right? So bottom line is we had, like we told y'all, right? The week before the election, y'all, a week before the election, Brenda Duhart, y'all know we've been on KOKA radio for a year. For a year. And before we were at KOKA, we were at KSYB for 2 years. So we've been on the radio over 3 years. The Keeping It Real radio broadcast been on the radio over 3 years, y'all. That's saying something right there, because you've not heard no other talk show, no other radio live show on the air for over 3 years. And that's what we did. You didn't see Theron Jackson's show do it. You hadn't saw Calvin Lester or Stephen Jackson's show do it. You ain't seen no other show on the air for 3 years and people tuning in like y'all doing. Y'all know why? Because we keep it real. We keep with the theme of the show. We don't lick boots. We keep it real. And the bottom line was, we don't sop gravy with biscuits and gravy for sopping. We don't play that. This ain't Gunsmoke. But the bottom line is, listen, you know, we got on a week before the election. Y'all think about it. All year long, we calling out people, city leaders. We calling them out. I'm not going to say no name. Y'all know who we were calling out. We were calling out city leaders left and right. Carla Collins said Theron Jackson is a pedophile. Why I mentioned him? You're right. Hey, Carla, we can't. I ain't gonna say nothing about that. We already got a lawsuit against us anyway, so we're gonna stay away from that.
Literally, whatever we say.
Yeah, but the bottom line is this right here, y'all. The bottom line is Charles Johnson. All year long, we've been calling people out, right? Then, like I said, y'all, when I ran against Alan Jackson and Tony Nations, Alan and Tony made the runoff. Charles Johnson called me. He said, I need to talk to you. He talked to him. I said, what's up? He said, who you going to support, Alan Jackson or Tony Nations? I said, I don't know who I'm going to support. I ain't made up my mind yet. Why? He said, well, I don't want to see you turn the city back over to the white folks. Right. So, you know, he said, you know, my brother is Craig Johnson over there with Alan Jackson now. I said, no, I didn't know Craig was your brother. Y'all real brothers? He said, we both got the same name, Johnson. Well, I said, that don't make you real brothers. But the bottom line is, I said, hey, man, I haven't made up my mind yet. I said, but the bottom line is, he said, he'd rather not see me hand the city. He want me to put my support behind Jackson. That's basically what he told me, right? Yeah. So I said, well, I think about it. So anyway, the show continued to move on, y'all. I got Jackson want me to support him. Tony Nation want me to support him. So I said, well, hey, you know, if I'm not going to support either one, I'm not going to say anything against to hurt either one, because I don't want to hurt maybe some future endeavors that I might have, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, the week before the election, y'all, think about it. A week before the election, y'all saw Cedric Glover. Yeah. Y'all saw Ollie Tyler, Adrian Perkins come out against Greg Tarver, right? So then we start calling it out on the radio. We said, never in Louisiana politics have y'all seen 3 black former mayors, Democrats, tell you black folks to come across the party line and support a white Republican. Doesn't matter if he's white, to support a Republican. Never have you seen that. But here's the same, what we said again for Mika. Adrian, Ollie, Cedric, when they ran, they wanted y'all support them. Why? For one of two reasons. One, because they black. Two, because they Democrat. So they wanted black folks to vote for them. But then for those same reasons, they told y'all don't vote for Greg Tarver because he black. Don't vote for Greg Tarver because he Democrat. Vote for Tom Arsenault. Y'all come on, go cross this party line and y'all vote for this white Republican guy. That's what we want y'all to do. And so guess what? Charles Johnson called us in the office. We went ham on the radio that day. Charles called us in the office. Long story short, y'all, Sunday roll around. Instead of calling me and Michael and Lester on the phone, he texts us. He texts us in an email. He said, hey, check y'all email. What's up, Bob Brown? He said, check y'all email. What's up, Kim Washington? So we gets the email, y'all. We gets the email, y'all. The email said, real talk and keeping it real being canceled unless, he said, so we called him on the phone. You're right, Puntress Dawson. He talks out of both sides of his mouth. He's not credible. Absolutely right. Hey, Tammy Frazier. So watch this, y'all. Charles Johnson said to us, he said, you know, people been calling us all year, wanting us to take y'all off the radio. Some of the same people that y'all talk about want us to take y'all off the radio. And so, but we tell them we're not going to take y'all off the radio. We're not going to take y'all off the radio. And so, okay, we love what y'all doing. So we continue to do what we're doing, right? And so then, like I said, he said, y'all can stay on the radio. He said, be clear. We want y'all to stay on the radio, but y'all must keep it 100% a gospel content, a gospel content. So we told them gospel is not what we do. We're not going to keep it a 100% gospel content. So we're going to go ahead and go on our own. So again, y'all, yeah, we know Carla Collins. We know, well, he said he didn't share the email. He think Linus May shared the email, but somebody sent the email to John Settle. John Settle reached out to me along with the other people. Well, but Carla, here's the thing. When we left that radio station, it wasn't a demotion, it was a promotion. You understand? Because guess what? Ask yourself the question. Ask the audience the question. How many of y'all tuned in to KOKA 980 AM on Tuesday from 11 to 12. How many of y'all tuned in, turn your radio dial? How many of y'all even really listen to the radio? No, you tune in to this live right here. That's why 60 some of y'all on here right now. And that's just those who tap the screen. That ain't talking about those who ain't tapped on the screen. But the bottom line is, to go back to what I said, Tom Arsenault won the race, right? Tom is the mayor. Congratulations, Tom. This ain't about Tom. This ain't about Greg. This about all these people hollering about they so pro-black. They so pro-black. Black lives matter. Black voters matter. Well, black voters matter, but you're telling your black voters to go with a white Republican. But black voters matter, right? Black voters matter. But y'all, Cedric Glover, Ollie Tyler, Lavette Fuller. So let me tell y'all who on the transition team, and I'm just gonna name the black folks that's on Arsenault transition team. Ollie Tyler's former city attorney, William Bradford. He's in the law group with Arsenault, and so we expect that. Former Evangel coach who taught my kids at Evangel, Wendell Delaney. He's on the transition team, right? Former councilwoman Lavette Fuller is on the transition team. Mario Chavez, former commissioner, you know, people reached out from Greg's team to ask him would he support. He never would come out to support one side or another publicly, but you see now he's on the transition team. It says Tom Arsenault transition team. Mario Chavez is on there, right? But here's some more for this Black Power, Black Chamber, right? Brittany Dunn, right? Black Power, Brittany Dunn, Sister Soldier, right? Brittany Dunn, she's on there. She's on there right there. Brittany Dunn, right? Okay, let's go to the next page. Former State Senator Lydia Jackson, she sits on there, right? Watch this. The pastor of the Morning Star Baptist Church, Theron Jackson, sits on there, right? You know, man, listen, I'm not finna go into no great details, caller. You know one thing, caller. You know one thing that you know, a lot of times, a lot of people talked out on social media, Mike and Lester, talk bad stuff about Theron Jackson. Talk bad stuff. But and I stood up for Theron Jackson. I didn't stand up. I didn't stand against allegations because I didn't know whether he was guilty or not. I stood up for the man that I knew him to be. But then some personal people came to me and said, hey, man, he did this to me and my wife. He cheated with my wife. He did this to this child. He did that. Now, all of these were allegations. So we have to say allegedly. That they saying he allegedly did. We don't know that he did those things, but they said that he did these things, right? And we're not going to say, but the bottom line is, I'm saying when they said bad things about Theron, we stood up. This man got one of the biggest churches in the black community. One of the biggest churches in the black community. And he also went and stood with that white Republic. But he told me that when Alan Jackson got appointed, Theron asked me to embrace him, and I did embrace him, and I still embrace him. But the bottom line is, okay, then we got Art Thompson, y'all. Art Thompson, the former clerk of the courts, right? Of the council, excuse me. Art Thompson is on the transition team. Sherika Fields, who worked under the Perkins administration. And again, y'all, Taylor Jemison, Black Power, Taylor Jemison of the Black Chamber, all of these Black Power people now on the transition team of the Republicans. What does that say about them? What does that say, y'all? And last but not least, like I said, Charles Edward Johnson, Mr. KOKA, Mr. We love what y'all doing. Mr. We love the show. Mr. We love y'all. We want y'all to stay here, but it got to be 100% gospel content. Well, it wasn't 100% gospel content before you went over to the Arsenal transition team. So y'all call Charles Johnson and ask him why is it that?
Why we not on the show?
Why is it that? And listen, we don't need KOKA. Y'all proving that right now. We don't need KOKA. We got 4 offers from other radio stations, some of them white. Okay, so we got 4 offers. But listen, we're not going to be used by any other station to just call out black folk like we told the white radio station. If y'all want us to come now, don't try to handcuff us when we talk about white folks either. Don't just think we're going to talk about black leaders. We're going to talk about white folk too. But the reason why we talk about black folks so much is because that's who controls the city right now. Black folks. But look, they say Tom Arsenault got 24 white folks on his transition team and 8 or 9 black folks.
You know, 60% African American.
And that can kind of give you the dynamic of what his team gonna look like, you know, but it is what it is. Y'all need to get off y'all ass and go and vote. And listen, we ain't on KOKA, we at the compound. We ain't at no radio station, so we can say y'all.
Now, Alvin, I really, really, really forgot what even brought me to you. It was your passion for the people that was over in Woodlawn Terrace, if we gonna go back. Okay. You were outraged about how the people were living, and you feel like people, they wasn't getting any help. And you made a lot of noise. So you went over there a few times, and you know, and then y'all went to other apartment complexes. But prior to that, y'all was talking about the crime rate out here in Shreveport. Now, I'm glad that you're talking about all this that you're talking about, because we just gonna keep it real or we gonna keep it fake. Now, I remember when I was watching one of the lives and I said something about my brother Case, and I inboxed you and I told you what was going on with the case. I told you that my brother had been murdered, and I knew that one of the city officials was involved with one of the suspects' relatives. You and Mike, as a matter of fact, when y'all called me, we kind of talked about everything, and then I sent you the evidence, as I like to say, because I have to back up everything I say. Now, you asked me, did I have your permission to release the audio? And I told you, of course. There was just a small amount of it, but that was kind of like the most important part of it. But you never did. And then you told me that you were going to you was going to check with, I want to say the chief. I'll go back in a minute and let you know who you told me you was going to check with. But anyway, you never got back to me. And so I got blocked, and I posted something about Wade, and then you asked me, what did he do? I said, well, hell, he getting everybody blocked, and I was the first one to donate to him. However, I never bothered you again about my brother's case, because I know if you cared, if you were concerned, or if you intended to go public with that, you would have reached back out to me. See, I had been working about myself for this long, and I'm still working about myself. However, you didn't. But when you reached out, when you asked me about what I had put on my story, I asked you, so did you ever hear from anybody? And we had this little conversation about, you asked them and they told you it was going to be turned over to the cold case, and I'm like, don't insult my intelligence, because why would a case be cold when they have witness statements, they have audio, they have video, but you never, not one time, went live about that to expose the corruption inside the SPD. So, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all. You see, you can't just talk about that part you want to talk about why they kick y'all off the radio station because you ain't go for their people or whatnot. I'd rather, if somebody is not going to help me, I'd rather for them not to pretend that they are, because they could be just like them people what you talking about. They was acting like they were for this team, but then come to find out they was over there with that team. Yeah. Yeah, and I know how this shit go. It's all politics. I also know that when you went viral and you had started showing up to the apartment complexes about the horrible living conditions, people started saying that you should run for city council. You should run for mayor. And you said that you had some stuff on your record that you had to take care of. So you couldn't at this time. That's the election that we're going through now. But you would be prepared for the next election. However, you got quiet just like the rest of them. They scare them off. SPD, they scare them off. We didn't have any more conversation or communication about my brother case. But I do know that all of a sudden, you qualified. How? See, we're going to talk about it, and I don't have to put nobody else in it, because I done experienced enough with our people, that I could use my own experiences as an example. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Now, I'm a small percentage of the people who know that they have to keep themselves under investigation. See, I keep me under investigation. That's how I'm able to, get the evidence that I have. Because I get lied on. We know that. We're going to talk about that too. I just wanted to know why, if you confronting all these people, if you calling all these people out, I didn't come and tell you that I didn't come and tell you that I heard. I let you hear the people say the shit out their own mouth. And you backed away from it. Damn, you ain't even say goodbye, safe travels, or whatever y'all talking about, the log and the horse in the river or whatever, you know. Might as well have been laying on your ass like you telling the people to get up and go vote. See, I voted. But I voted for the white man. I voted for the white man. Because, see, you Negroes have failed me enough. And what's so sad about it? Before I was a victim of the bullshit, I was helping other people. I think that's probably how I got caught up. Everybody know I'm a target. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. See, like you said, y'all ain't in the radio station, so y'all can say what y'all want to say. I can say what I want to say. And it's not alleged. You know, but again, no one owes me anything. We're just talking about how the system works. We're just talking about how we speak on some bullshit, and some bullshit we look the other way. Like the molester pastor who was cheating with the wives because of their friends. Maybe somebody was promised something, so everybody benefiting, so everybody can't nobody say nothing. Can't nobody say nothing. It ain't a damn thing that nobody could take from me. Not even my life, because I know one thing ain't going nowhere until it's my time. So I'm going to say whatever I want to say about whoever I want to say it about. And I want to talk about these crooked ass politicians. And I want to let our people know why they better go the other way. See, we expect that shit out of, as y'all say, master and them. Yeah, we expect that out of them. But they don't, they and I ain't talking about me because I know better, don't expect it out of our own kind. But guess what master do? He put somebody in there that look like us, and they get master's job done. It's simple as that. I mean, shit, y'all some intelligent people. And, you know, y'all be talking about God, and we keeping it real, or we gonna keep it fake? Cause we finna go a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper. In the bullshit. Ollie caught a body, killed her white husband. You know, but these are people that we got represent the city. But y'all are not y'all as in keeping it real radio. I'm talking about these politicians. Yeah. The lieticians. I'm talking about y'all. You know, somebody steal $10 or $10 worth of something, and you'll have them over there with 10 years. They gonna do some time. But then it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's why y'all want to keep all these black people in. Why, if they're not doing nothing? If it's not producing good fruit, cut the whole tree down. Me, myself, I think it should be a mixture, because it won't be a yes man. You know, if a white person suggests, a black person to stand up. If a black person suggests, a white person to stand up if it's not right for them, which means everybody have to agree. So I feel like that would make things a lot better. One thing about them white people, see, I'm glad Tom won, because Tom finna shake up some shit, and that's what the people don't want. Tom don't want another Baby Landry situation. Tom is finna crack down on the bullshit. That's what I believe. I hope so. I pray to God he do. You know, I pray that he gonna make it where it's gonna be so strict on his people, who gonna make it strict on the citizens. So crime will go down in the black communities, because they know it spills over in the white communities. Crime is like a virus. It's like cancer. It spreads. It spreads. I'm really hoping and praying. I was angry when I saw that those sellouts endorsed him. I was like, well, hell, it might be just as fuck. But I'm hoping and praying that he pulls a Perkins since he's won. I'm hoping and praying that he go in and flip the strip. Whatever the promises was, you know. Again, it was never seen in history. 3 Democrats, former mayors, endorse a Republican. I'm praying whatever they think, thought, or the ass they trying to kiss, now that he's won the position, I hope he get in there and do what he got to do. I mean, and if he don't, it doesn't matter, because crime is already bad. And I mean, it can't get it's every day. It's all day. SPD don't never know nothing. Can't never solve nothing. They have everything on video, but they still don't know nothing. They have 0 clues. 0 clues. But they have all the evidence that they need. But then they crooked ass relatives, which are the city officials, leaders, detectives, family members, make evidence disappear. Technicalities, make sure they don't go to jail. Like, how people still getting out when they done killed 3 and 4 and 5 people, different murders or attempted murders, like life sentences, but they get out. Technicalities on. Yeah. Okay. So I think they just need to paint all the shit back white. So the next time a Negro get in the office, they'll know. You say, how do the black people not vote, or vote for the white people. Listen, when those black people are elected, the majority of, they get in there, their skin color don't change, but everything else about them do. The statement on their live was made, we don't stick together for nothing. It don't matter what we do, we supposed to still support each other. White people gonna stick together. That's because white people are already sticking together. They are already trying to help one another. As y'all love to say, they see they brother, sister, fellow man down. They actually reaching down the hand and lift them up. My personal experience, the black people ignore your call, never get back, lie, don't respond, or you just don't matter. Do y'all really think black people want to continue to get fucked, continue to lose? These people, some of these people can't get jobs because of certain felonies, but you have city officials that done committed more serious crimes. Oh, it's who they know. It's who they know. Yeah, it's who they know. I'm going to have to make sure I look at the rest of their live. So anybody else that was in there talking, I don't know, it wasn't misunderstood, trying to sway the people when you ain't no better, so I can go in and investigate, dig your background too. Because how can we follow your lead, your advice, when you doing the same thing they doing? What is a victimless crime? If you stole from a foundation, that means that people came up short. Where did the money go, Michael? You know what I'm talking about? If you don't, I'm going to attach it to this video. Oh, it's who they know. It's who they know. Yeah, it's who they know. I'm going to have to make sure I look at the rest of their live. So anybody else that was in there talking, I don't know, it wasn't misunderstood, trying to sway the people when you ain't no better, so I can go in and investigate, dig your background too. Because how can we follow your lead, your advice, when you doing the same thing they doing? What is a victimless crime? If you stole from a foundation, that means that people came up short. Where did the money go, Michael? You know what I'm talking about? If you don't, I'm going to attach it to this video. Because, see, I'm sure a lot of people I mean, you sound intelligent. I never would have thought. But yeah, we're supposed to listen to you tell us to support the other crooks and criminals and sellouts, so all y'all can keep on stealing fun in y'all pockets. Like, you might be doing a little bit, but that just takes away from the lot you're supposed to be doing that nobody sees, nobody investigate. Yeah, of course you got to do something. If not, people will start wondering. Oh, and another thing, y'all were all, the people promised before the election. I heard Carla's name. I didn't see her name on there. I'm just sure I never heard Carla's name being called on these lives before. I'm just wondering what happened. But enough with that. Let me attach a portion of your live so people can understand why they should not listen and support these people that y'all pushing for. Yeah, everybody they have their own choice to vote for who they want to vote for. Let's not persuade the people. Let's not tell them half truths, because when you do, that means that it's half lies. Let's not tell them half truths, because when you do, that means that it's half lies. And I don't like that. But I feel like we're going to be talking about it a little bit more because, as y'all said, this election is very important. And the next time y'all talk about the election, find out why a lot of people wasn't able to vote, who've been voting for years. Because I was telling my people to vote for the white man. You see, well, we can't get a call back. We can't get a response. We can't get nothing unless you friends with benefits or affiliated.
I see in the car, and y'all saying that they got it from the back. How you get bullet holes in the front of the car?
Okay, Ms. Kim, I'm not at liberty to discuss this case with you in detail. This is an ongoing investigation. So at no point will I be able to discuss with you how this happened or how that happened or why this or why that. And the secretaries, they don't have any information to give you at all.
I know I didn't ask her for information. I asked her to speak with you Mr. Hindenburger.
Okay. Well, all she can do is pass that along. You telling her you're going to get angry, that doesn't help the situation.
I know it don't help the situation, but I'm trying to keep this situation escalating.
Okay.
Because see, ain't nobody doing it. My brother sitting up there, he's still fighting for his life. And how am I supposed to feel?
Okay, that's understandable. But you getting angry ain't gonna prevent your brother from fighting for his life, and it's not going to help this investigation either.
Yeah, I know, but it seems like ain't nothing you did. And I said I did everything I could, even put my life in jeopardy, but I try to get information.
Okay, what is it that's not being done?
The only thing I see the man say his brother got arrested by the case. I don't know, ain't nobody arrested for shooting my brother.
Okay, you said nothing's getting done. What's not getting done?
I don't see nobody being charged.
Okay, that doesn't mean there's nothing being done.
It hurt. And then situation, but it made me feel better. Then I stuck out. My kids ain't got no mama, they ain't got nobody. And I still need to be there for my brother. So every day time go by, I'm still getting more angry.
Okay, well,
You know, I see all these other cases, the man shot in the field, ain't no witnesses, ain't no nothing. But these people, you know, you get arrested, paid on it. There's cameras and ain't no way Clipper wasn't caught on video. I'm looking at how this car shot up. My brother was ambushed. And I feel like somebody, even the girl took the gun out the car. She ain't even been charged for no accessory or no, so she ain't got charged. All these people involved, but ain't nobody getting arrested. I mean, how I'm supposed to feel.
I can't control how you feel, Miss Kim.
I didn't ask you to control how I feel. I said, how do you think I'm supposed to feel? I'm telling you, you innocent, so she took a gun out the car. Why she ain't being charged with accessory after the fact?
Well, I don't think that charge is appropriate for taking the gun out of the
Okay, so what is? She interfered with a crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
So what charge is appropriate? She ain't even getting no charge.
That's not accessory after the fact.
Well, what is it then?
It's not that.
Okay, so what is it?
Miss Kim, if you have information to give, or
I gave you information. You heard the one that said she took the gun out the car. You say you talked to her 2 times. Y'all ain't trying to arrest her.
okay.
And now everybody jump on the TV, the news, talking about people know stuff, and I'm coming to y'all. You ain't trying to say that. I just want to know why she ain't been charged.
Your brother is not the victim of her taking that gun out the car. Your brother is the victim of a shooting.
That's right, but she interfered with the investigation. She should not have never took the gun out the car.
With my investigation.
That's right.
I am the victim of that. I am the complainant of that. Your brother is the complaining of a shooting. So that's where our focus needs to be at.
No, all of that placed in part together. So what do you mean? That's all I'm trying to do is understand. I'm trying to understand. Because she's in there, she has been with the investigation, and I understand, so y'all still really know that all that got something to do with everything.
That's false as well. I have an entire surveillance tape, so I already knew she took the gun out the car. I appreciate your assistance.
Okay, so why you ain't, y'all say y'all didn't know what was took out the car. Why is she not being charged?
Because I've not elected to charge her at this point.
You ain't elected to charge her.
Correct.
But yes, I'm trying to see why though.
I'm not going to tell you the reason why. I'm still conducting my investigation. This is an open investigation, and details of this investigation I'm not going to share with you.
I'm not asking you to share with me details. I'm asking for something to be done.
Okay.
This is the reason why there's so many killers out here, because people feel like they got to get their lick back.
Well, I can't control that either.
Now, who else I could talk to? Because I feel like y'all doing enough to try to get justice for my brother.
You can talk to whoever you want to.
I'm talking about somebody that's over you, because I want to complain.
You can talk to Sergeant Hindenburger. He's here right now. Would you like me to leave a message?
Yeah, I want to talk to him.
Okay.
Because I don't know why these people ain't being charged.
Okay. I'll leave a message for Sergeant Hindenburger to call you. He's not in the office right now, but I will leave a message.
Thank you.
We ain't found him. That's the problem. He's the next person we got to talk to because he was there.
He over there at the baby mama house. They over there harassing me.
Where's the baby mama house at?
Over in the projects.
There's a lot of projects. Which one?
Illinois. Mozart over there clear whatever they call it over there.
What's her name? You know her name?
Yeah, almost that's your dollars to Detective Jackson. She got everything.
She got it all?
And then she told me that they was getting close, that they had leaves, and then she come back to me, they don't have nothing. Then she told me I can't make her arrest nobody. And I found out that the memory was related to Councilman Williams.
To what?
The city councilman.
Well, I promise you we're not doing anything to hide or cover up for Brittany.
You may not be.
No, she is not a promise.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
But so what she want to arrest me for?
Huh?
She said because I went by Nova South, she said that if I go over there again, that I was going to be arrested. She done took a whole gun out the car and gave it to the boy who had something to do with it, but she ain't picked up nobody yet.
You're saying that Officer Jackson, Detective Jackson, is giving a gun to the suspect.
No, you said that when I let you heard Newman say that, Nova gave him that gun out my brother's car.
That who did?
Nova.
Oh, yeah, it was on the deal.
Well, y'all didn't know that Newman and Cordelia was the same person.
The what?
Y'all,
You got me on speaker or something.
no, I did not. I'm at the hospital with my brother. I don't know why you can't hear me, but I'm at the hospital sitting in the waiting room.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Huh?
I turned the volume up. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little bit.
Nah, you're not on speaker.
It sounds like I'm on speaker. That's why I was asking.
Nah, I done dropped the phone in the water, in the streets 100 times. I just need an herb.
Okay. As soon as she gets back, I will have her give you a call, and I will talk to her about where she's at on the case. Okay?
Could you just relay the message? I told she said she ain't talked to me in a while.
She's working about 5 other homicides.
But they don't, if they need somebody to take this, then they don't mean neglect one.
Every one of our homicide detectives are working homicides. We had 60 homicides this year.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, when I came in and asked about a supplemental, you said we still don't know who killed your brother. Ain't nobody working my brother's case if they don't know we still hanging on.
We're still working your brother's case. We don't stop working your brother's case. I promise you that. The problem is that when we get more cases come in, we can't just say, hey, we can't work these new cases because we have to work the Kent case. We can't do that.
And that's why I was very considerate. But if they go, all the people that was there, she could have arrested him. She would put some heat on nobody's for taking a gun out the car. Then she would have heard somebody talking already.
She said no been here like 3 times. There's only so much shit you can throw on somebody, and you can't just throw up charges and put somebody in jail.
It ain't blowing it up. She was here with a crime scene.
We can't prove that. Okay?
You want her taking a gun out the car. You see her on tape, and you heard her saying that she took it and she gave it to him, and he telling you he gave it to him.
Okay. Miss Kim,
So how you can't prove it?
Miss Kim, I'm not going to have you yell at me, okay? I'm not
yelling at you, but I'm asking how you can't prove it.
Miss Kim, I'm not working the case, okay? I will talk to Detective Jackson, and we will call you back and give you an update on the case, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
his plans to run for state rep district, 10? Cedric's old seat. And so definitely I'm going to always support Lyndon. Support is shown where support is given, y'all. Y'all got to watch these people who swing from tree to tree. Like I said, they swing like Tarzan. And when they think you hot, they go jump from one tree to the next tree. Just like that serpent tongue Willie Bradford. Willie ain't to be trusted. And listen, I even said to Greg, some of the people on his team wasn't to be trusted. But hey, he chose his team, and it is what it is. Like I said, congratulations. I think Tom Arsenault a fine man. I hope Tom Arsenault does well for Shreveport, because when one part of Shreveport does well, all of Shreveport should do well. But if we don't do well, we got to stop sitting on our behinds, because your voice is in your vote. And if you don't go and vote, you will not have a voice, and they will continue to do what they want to do at the polls. Mike and Lester.
Right. Well, I mean, we have an opportunity to elect someone to lead this local chapter in NAACP, and the only way you can get involved, engage, and vote. Look, go in, register on NAACP.org, 6078B, 6078B. Go online and get your registration, be a member. I think the election will be in the next 30 days or next 40 days. So be involved and support our local people here that are running. Alvin is running for the president of the local chapter. And of course, my dear colleague is running for, Luster is running for the first vice. So please go out and go vote. Be a member. It only costs you $30. And most of the problems and most of the issues that we address affects the black community. Affects the poor people. Affects working people. So we have to recognize.
Tabitha did rename some streets.
Yeah, we want to get out and support our local chapter. Go out and
she just ain't fixed none.
So we can hold the government bodies accountable in terms of getting our equal share of the budget dollar that flow through the city of Shreveport.
That's right.
Economic development.
That's right.
Make sure we get some of the jobs that are flowing through this community, public and private sector. And I think the NAACP would be the vehicle, would be the equalizer and the balancing act in the room to ensure that all the local bodies are held accountable, to ensure that we get our equal share of the money, the resources. You can't do a whole lot if you ain't got no money. No, you can have a lot of prayer and don't resource a lot to do. And prayer does change this thing. We've been praying, but also we need to work and pray at the same time too.
Because it said faith without work.
Faith without work is dead. So we got a lot of faith. We got hallelujah, but we need some do-you.
Yeah, that's right.
As Papa Martin said. But anyway, people, we have some serious elections coming up. The NAACP, we have some commissioner races coming up, state representative. We got the governor race coming up. We got the attorney general, the lieutenant governor, senator race coming up. So look, we have to get engaged and be mobilized, organized, and do what they did in Georgia. They got out and mobilized, put their resources where people can get out and go vote. If you want to make a change, voting does matter. Voting does matter. We have the president is putting together people that first-time offenders with marijuana charges, simple charges. They decriminalized that. So now if you get pulled over, you won't go to jail. That's because people got out and voted. Policy does matter. The way you change policy, change the people that craft the policy.
Right, but Telsey, your guy Telsey said they voted for the other side. He said the question is, why did black and white Dems feel it necessary to hire the new mayor over Mr. Tarver? Hey, man, that's a good question.
Well, politics make, strange bedfellows. I can't answer that. It's for personal reasons, financial reasons. People cut deals and people did favor for each other. You just never know. Maybe not this time, but the next time. I don't know why. I can't answer that. But it makes straight bedtime fella. We all are not made the same. We the same biologically, but we're not the same psychologically how we think. I just believe in supporting my own kind. It don't matter what they did. A lot of white Republicans have done things to each other, and they still stick together. Every other race and nationality stick together regardless, especially when they're doing something against a black man. Right. You have never seen what happened in the history of this country, of this city, what happened to us on several days ago. So we don't want that to be a carbon copy of who we really are. They don't represent all of us. They just represent themselves. That's the way they think. But we need to continue to move and push the needle for the American dream and change the narrative to ensure that we get our fair share, our equal share, all the resources, education, housing, contracts, job, health care, We need to make sure that infrastructure changes. Make sure we able to get our streets clean, swept, and safety and public safety. Well, there need to be some other people on the transit board that'll be part of the problem. They be part of some people on the transit board don't know how to solve crime and fight crime and solve problems. It's just business as usual, same old result, same old cycle. We got to break the cycle and use the people that's been part of the problem and make them part of the solution. Mayor Arsenault, you have to change the dynamic because this city ain't Jim Crow like it used to be no more. It's a majority black city. So we have to recognize, I believe in working together, but we got to work together with the money, with the resources. Follow the money and make sure that you're inclusive as the mayor of our city.
And not only that, y'all, you know, Mike just told y'all, listen, we got big elections coming up next year. The sheriff election coming up. We having the commissioner elections coming up. We're having state representatives coming up, state senate coming up, attorney general, the governor, the lieutenant governor. All of those big elections are coming up, y'all, next year. And guess what? Next year is next month, right? And so it's not long. The bottom line is, y'all, we got to go and you got to get registered to vote.
Raise money.
You got to get registered to vote. You got Carla Collins say she running for office. Well, come on, Carla run for office. I can tell you right now, Carla Collins, it costs a lot of bread. I tell y'all, for those who don't know, if you have aspirations to run, make sure you get a lot of people back in your run. Because if you don't, you're going to spend some money. I spent $20,000 out of my own pocket on the city council race, and still I had folks donate me about quite a bit of money, but I still spent 20 out of my own pocket. City marshal race also, James Jefferson, yay. And so bottom line is, y'all, we got a lot of elections coming up. Y'all got time right now to go and get yourselves registered. Go and get yourselves registered, and don't just get registered just to register. Go and actually vote for somebody.
Participate.
And listen, remember, y'all heard Mike say one thing. Mike said he vote for his own kind. That's the way he's always been. But what makes this show unique is it's called Keeping It Real. He's got his own thoughts, his own mind. Lester does, I do, Najiri do. And I don't always vote for my own kind. I don't always vote on things just because they're black or because they're white. I vote on things because I think it's right. And I don't care what color you are. If you're white and you're right, I'm going to vote on you. If you're black and you're wrong, I'm going to vote against you.
Well, let me say, I agree with Alvin. I agree. I will try to vote with what's right. But when you got a black Democrat run against a Republican, I don't care what that black man have done to me. I ain't vote for no Republicans, no brother. That's what I'm saying. Or no sister. Yeah. You know, when it come to that claim. And
again, Lester says the same, y'all, but that's where I differ. You know, if you're a white Republican and you're running against a black Democrat and I'm a Democrat, if I don't agree with that Democrat's platform, if I hadn't seen any effective proven leadership from that Democrat and his black platform, and my views and my values align more with that white Republican, then guess what? Unless I'm running for political office and I'm going to hurt myself politically, then I'm going to go with who I align with. If my values align with your values, then we're going to be able to work together.
Republican
that's just how
your values don't align with my values.
Hey, Pearl, but I'm just saying, we as Democrats, we have to stick together. We as black people, we have to stick together because black people ain't always right. But we shouldn't just throw each other away.
They don't do it.
They don't do. They take the worst.
They salvage their own kind.
They salvage it.
Lick it wound and put them back up.
Put them back together. They just like Humpty Dumpty. When they fall and break, they pick them up and put them back together. But we step on ours and make the break worse.
Nail them to the ground.
What I'm saying is, we as a people, we've got to get out of ourselves. And vote. Yeah, we got
but call KOKA. Well, ask KOKA when they became so political, though.
Okay, let me say this. KOKA ain't never been all gospel. It's from Gay Papa to Bird Brain and all the rest of them. KOKA has always been a rhythm and blues station, gospel for a certain time.
Their resource to be able to benefit the entire community. Too often the black community has been ignored and neglected for too many years because of both leadership under Democrats and Republicans.
True.
So it's not always about race, it's about resources.
Yeah.
We have to redirect those resources that's been bypassed, and the federal government earmarked in the CBG money where most of the resources supposedly supposed to be directed toward the community, based on what the neighborhood and faith-based organization want for their particular community. We should do what the people want. The people want. They serve at the pleasure of the people. If the people want something in different community, give the people what they want. They're the voters. They're your boss. So we hope and pray. We pray, but we want to work and hold people accountable. We want to be able to work together. We want to be able to be inclusive and make sure that the have-nots are at the table. And I hope that the mayor would extend his hand beyond the scope of the same old people in the same circle and go beyond that scope and reach down a little deeper, deep down at the grassroots level. Reach down and pull these people up that's been hurting and they need help and they need hope. Because most of the people in this community look like zombies. They gave up in despair. They're depressed and oppressed. So look at Mayor. My challenge to you, Mayor, is to make sure that you be inclusive. And of course, you wasn't my choice at first, but you are my mayor now. And I pray whatever I can do, we can do to help be inclusive. Our show, our voices, we'll lend our knowledge and wisdom to help this city become better. I love Shreveport.
Yeah, I do too. But I want to say this. We, I said earlier that we had black leaders, but they didn't have a black agenda. So that's what we're seeing right now. That's what's happening right now. You got the black leaders, we got black leaders, but they don't have a black agenda. Why they don't have a black agenda? Because we have not given them an agenda.
Former Caddo Parish Commissioner who went to federal prison for wire fraud wants a pardon. In a speech sprinkled with Bible verses, Michael Williams on Monday asked Caddo commissioners to pass a resolution urging Governor John Bel Edwards to pardon Williams and send a clemency request to President Donald Trump. "Exonerate me and help me start my recovery," he said. Just a quick word from our sponsor. Williams of Shreveport spent more than $8,500 in taxpayer money from Swag Nation, a nonprofit organization he controlled, making a combination of cash withdrawals and debit card purchases from the organization's checking account. While a commissioner representing District 3, Williams voted to direct $100,000 in public money to the nonprofit and didn't disclose that he was associated with it. He served 14 months in federal prison and is still on supervised probation. Monday, Williams called the case against him a conspiracy and a plot. "I was framed for something I didn't do," Williams said. "They just wanted me out of politics, and they camouflaged it by using Swag Nation as a tool to get to me." While under indictment in 2015, Williams ran for re-election. He lost to Stephen Jackson. Williams' conviction in 2016 barred him from seeking public office unless he receives a federal pardon. In November, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that the Caddo Commission wasn't entitled to restitution and ordered the commission to repay the money to Williams. There is nothing to suggest that the Parish Commission did not receive the services for which it contracted, nor to suggest that it paid more than the fair market value, the court said in its opinion. The Parish Commission paid Swag Nation after the contracted for program was held. The court upheld Williams' conviction. Williams referred to the Fifth Circuit's decision on restitution during his 20-minute speech, but he didn't mention the court's ruling on his conviction. A smattering of applause accompanied Williams as he left the lectern Monday afternoon. Commissioner Lyndon Johnson added Williams to the visitors section at Williams' request. He and other commissioners offered no comments to Williams after the speech.
Next article.
Benton, Louisiana, another local law enforcement agency has joined in with an ongoing investigation.
A disgraced former Caddo Parish commissioner who went to federal prison for wire fraud wants a pardon now. Michael Williams asked Caddo commissioners to pass a resolution urging Governor John Bel Edwards to pardon him. Williams spent more than $8,500 in taxpayer money from Swag Nation, a nonprofit organization he controlled. While a commissioner representing District 3, Williams voted to direct $100,000 in public money to the nonprofit and did not disclose that he was associated with it. Williams says he never took any of the money from the nonprofit.
But as you see from the Fifth Circuit opinion, there was no money taken from nobody, Commissioner Militant. Nobody was a victim, not even Swag Nation. Not even Swag Nation never even filed any charges that I took anything from them.
Williams served 14 months in federal prison and is still on supervised probation. His conviction in 2016 barred him from seeking public office unless and until he receives a pardon.
After 3 long years, Shateri Payne's family finally gets justice, and one of our accused killers was acquitted.
In the trial of 2 men accused of killing an off-duty
police officer.
That's right. Prosecutors put detectives on the stand. 29-year-old Trevion Anderson and 41-year-old Glenn Frierson are charged with second-degree murder. A Shreveport police detective testified that an accomplice, Lawrence Pierre, led them to the murder weapon that he'd stashed away at a friend's house. Pierre pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison.
They also showed video of an interview with Glenn Frierson, who denies being at the crime scene despite cell phone data that puts him there. Question from the defense on whether Frierson knew what was happening brought an objection and a recess. Trial continues.
It took 3 years, but tonight, for the family of fallen Shreveport police officer Shateri Payne, justice was served. Trevion Anderson, the man prosecutors say orchestrated her murder in 2019, was found guilty. The jury got the case late this afternoon following 2 hours of dramatic closing arguments. But while Anderson will live the rest of his life in prison for killing a police officer, KSLA Chief Investigative Reporter Stacey Cameron tells us why one of Anderson's co-defendants is now a free man.
Shateri Payne was just 22 years old, a mother of a 2-year-old girl, and a rookie on the Shreveport Police Department when she was gunned down in her driveway back in January of 2019. Now, after a 3-week trial and nearly 11 days of testimony, there's a verdict in this high-profile murder case. Guilty. Trevion Anderson, Payne's one-time boyfriend, found guilty of second-degree murder and guilty of conspiracy to commit second-degree murder. However, his co-defendant, Glenn Frierson, the jury acquitted him of both charges, second-degree murder and conspiracy to commit second-degree murder, after only 2 hours of deliberation. It was an emotional moment in court when the court reporter read the verdict of guilty against Trevion Anderson for murder and conspiracy. Members of Payne's family breaking down, crying softly in court. After that verdict, we caught up with Overton Jefferson, Shateri Payne's father, as well as District Attorney James Stewart, to get the reaction to today's split verdict.
I'm glad everybody did a good job, and I think justice was served.
We thank the jury for its job. This took a long time. We started this journey, and we're happy with the verdicts.
Following today's guilty verdict, Trevion Anderson will now spend the rest of his life in a Louisiana prison, serving at hard labor with no possibility of suspension, probation, or parole. Reporting outside the Caddo Parish Courthouse, I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Stacey Cameron.
Guys, rest in peace to Shateri Payne. And with him being sentenced to life in prison at hard labor in Louisiana, guys, that pretty much means he will spend his time in Angola Penitentiary. Now, guys, as for Mr. Glenn Frierson, guys, he was acquitted, and guys, he was found not guilty on conspiracy to commit murder or second-degree murder. And if you guys go back and look at the story from 2019 and you guys start reading, as they have updated a lot of articles and they got a lot of information about this on the internet, guys, from the start, they were already saying they really had no solid evidence on Mr. Glenn Frierson. Now, guys, they did say his cell phone was in the area of the crime scene, but guys, sometimes there's just not enough evidence to pin some on someone. But guys, Glenn Frierson is still going to federal prison. He was sentenced a couple years ago for gun and drug charges. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison. So he's done with the murder, but he will still go to prison for other charges. But guys, that is not a good thing when you have to sit in prison for something that you didn't do. Guys, they say it's innocent until proven guilty. But guys, it seems like you're guilty until you're proved innocent. And guys, the police, they're no stranger to picking on Glenn Frierson. And guys, Glenn Frierson's sister had some words for SPD. Guys, check out this clip.
For the whole time it happened, ever since that SPD officer Shateri Payne got killed, that my brother Glenn Shout Dog Frierson didn't have nothing to do with that. Oh, he was just acquitted of all his charges. So yeah, free shout. He still got to go do that 12 years on that federal charge. Yeah, everybody else was found guilty. They was convicted. They railroaded my brother, had him locked up for killing their police for 3 years. And yes, no, they just cleared my brother's name. The police could have killed my brother or anything, talking about that he killed that police officer. They did him all kind of dirty. Anybody could have went behind him talking about that he killed her. And the whole time, the Hindenburger, the same one who lied about just the murder, talking about that they knew that he didn't have nothing to do with it, but they thought he knew something about it. SPD ain't shit, ain't never been shit, ain't gonna never be.
And also, Richard City News, remember to hit the subscribe button and that bell notification will drop it like.
It doesn't matter black or white. These people that we've been dealing with, I'd rather see some from Planet of the Damn Apes.
we'll come out better. We'll come out better. But that's enough of that ranting. Y'all know why I'm here. Let me show y'all why these people ain't shit. Starting with Stephanie Lynch and them. Y'all better not. Y'all better not. I hope Arsenal win and get in there and pull Perkins and change on everybody, make them think he gonna do what they want. I know one thing. That white man get up in there, he gonna put the cuffs on everything. On everything, and it's sad, but sometimes you gotta lose to win.
Sir, I want to be sympathetic to your arrest, and this is not a matter that the city council can actually engage. It's in the hands of another venue. I wouldn't know what you just mentioned until you just mentioned it, and there's no preview under our charter that gives us any power to give you any recourse in this matter. I would suggest that there's our city attorney, Attorney Bradford. He may, after the meeting, can give you some directions on how you can address it so that it won't go the way it want to go. But I would suggest also you have an attorney that your attorney will make some ways in which that could be addressed. But this body has no jurisdiction over your matter.
Yeah, Mr.
Council, want to say
Chairman,
something?
I'll get his information. I'll get with my chief prosecutor to see where his matter is pending in our court system.
Thank you.
And we'll have to review the file and look at all the facts.
Okay. City attorney is under his preview. Okay.
I appreciate it. I just want, I understand the situation you're all in, but these are things that need to be brought to the leaders of the city so that you understand some of these things that do go on before something else
Mr. Gill,
worse happens.
I'm not going to actually debate it, but I will say this. Okay. This city, Shreveport, is a good city. It's our home. And until I get some information from the city attorney to tell me otherwise, I refuse to believe that you would have been arrested, an unjust arrest, for something that was not being violated. I refuse to believe that. So I don't know the details, but I'm saying get with the attorney, and he will review the case, review your situation, and try to bring some relief to you. But I appreciate you. Continue to visit our city, but matters of this nature is not matters in which this council could.
I just want it to be known that these things happen. Okay. And, you know, I don't think it's any coincidence, some of the things that have been spoken here today already, because I actually took off work to be here today. So I don't think this is a coincidence. This is something that I just want you to know about that happened.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Okay. Latonya Kemp.
Hello, my name is Latonya Kemp, 6353 Crosswind Street, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71119. I'm here as well as a matter with the police department, Shreveport Police Department. Pastor Miles, I know him when he was in the world as Chucky. I don't know this young man that just spoke, but unlike him and what you refuse to believe, I have evidence of the police violating my civil rights. I've been to them. I've been hauled off, taken to jail. I don't call it arrested, I call it kidnapping. I go to the police department to speak to the representatives of the chief. I'm denied. I uproar the captain. Well, they're not going to speak to you. How do you know? They're going to tell me what to tell you, and that's where it ends at. Fill out a internal affair complaint. And myself as well, I'm with the gentleman. That's why things happen like it happened. Yes, I have a history with the police department because of the reasons right now. I'm here and I'm speaking and I'm gonna scream. I'm not gonna shut up. So I really came to let the mayor know that I want to speak to her in detail about what's going on with members of the police department. I don't blame all the police because there's some good ones. God knows there's some good ones out there. It's some good ones, but it's some that's crooked. I don't think I'm being, I'm arrested. My actions has caused my arrest. The details of what's going on right now, I feel like it's really a conspiracy because of my history with the police department. I have charges, not convictions. I go to trial and I speak. I have evidence. Every time I have been approached about what I'm here about right now, I ask the police, could you please put me under surveillance? Because I know it's their word against mine. I have a history. I have, you know. So, quite naturally, they're going to take uniform, city official. It's their job. It's not their job to decide what is going to be done and what's not going to be done. I don't think the police should be making judgments of civil matters and turning it into criminal matters. I really think it's a conspiracy, and I think that the police is a part of it. Because the time I have faced, I have beat because I went to court. And like I said, I don't know about the gentleman here and what you just spoke on. And I hate that. I have evidence of everything that I say. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. What such and such called in and said this. You saw I was arrested on this date for this crime, but I was not convicted. Nobody never looked into the detail why I wasn't convicted. They just know I was arrested. I don't think it's right. And I think what's going on right now is a matter of, you know, the football digits, what they would really like to see me with. And it gets bad. And because I know what I know, I won't let it be a suicide. My safety, I'm a nobody. I don't have a lawyer. I don't figure like I need one. I haven't done nothing wrong, but yet and still I was kidnapped and I was taken to jail. I have not had a return call back for an appointment. Oh no, they're not gonna speak to you. I'm telling you what's going on. It's not right. I have evidence. Here is all the papers from here to here. Nobody wanna see that. But then once somebody is so mad, fed up, sick and tired, what do? Where do you go? If I can't get help from my officials, they were placed here for a reason. But they don't wanna do. They don't wanna do their job. So I wonder, is it personal? I don't know.
Ms. Kemp, your time has expired.
I didn't get 7 minutes.
Ms. Kemp.
Well, like I said, I'm afraid for my safety, and I'm here because I want the mayor to know that I would like to speak to someone of authority. Because SPD, I figure like it's railroading me.
Thank you. And again, I'm going to repeat that this body does not have a preview.
I'm not asking you to do anything about what has gone on. I want you to look into the actions of Shreveport Police Department.
We'll review that, and thank you. And maybe the city attorney can give you some directions as well. Okay?
The city attorney, I need someone of higher authority. I want to speak to the mayor because, like I said, I have evidence. All they have to do is look at the videos.
Well, again, it's an issue.
If I ask, they put me on surveillance if I'm doing something I have no business doing. They'll play me in court all day long. How can you tell me that you're not going to record me?
Ms. Kemp, again, we're hearing your side. The mayor is available if her schedule allows. Just go through the proper channels.
And because I went there today. That's how I
we don't set a schedule. So
because
please.
I have been turned away, rejected, denied. No one called back. I shoot off, like I said, to set up for suicide by cop. That's why I'm here. So it would be known to the public if something happens to me. They'll know I didn't pull a gun. I don't do guns, but I do catch charges because people are sick and tired.
Okay.
If I come to you all day, every day, and I can't get no help, you don't even want to hear me. The man got 7 years to speak a speech, and God knows he was on point. He was really talking about something. A lot of people ain't want to hear what he had to say, but he was able to speak about what he had to say. I can't talk about the actions against me.
I'm going to end the conversation because I'm saying again that we are a city of codes and laws and ordinances, and we will be glad to hear you anytime you come here. But we can only deal with the issues that this council has been governed to do. And I'm saying
And
that
so,
I'm asking
they're
you.
not governed for nothing against the actions of the police department?
This council has a responsibility for the police as well as the citizens.
What about the people? Yeah, what about the people? Tell me
saying,
about the responsibility, the rights of the people. Who do I? That's why I'm here. That is exactly why I'm here.
We'll
Who is
discuss
here for the people?
I will discuss this with you after the meeting. If you
After the meeting,
prefer.
I will sit and wait, and I won't say another word. Long as I can talk to somebody, because I'm being violated, and I don't know how to reach out. I asked for the chief. They told me we're not gonna call him.
Thank you. You may be seated, Ms. Gibbons.
Oh, sit down, be quiet.
Yes.
I'll do that, because I know I'm under surveillance.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Felicia Scroggins.
Let me ask a quick question.
Yielding to the council lady meeting, and you fill out a request to speak, you will be given that privilege.
And I'll be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But we cannot we cannot solve your issue here. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. I know I said I'm gonna sit down and shut
Ma'am, please, you're out of order. You're out of order. You're out of order. Out of order. Out of order. Okay.
Why y'all always on the news when something happens if you can't do nothing about what's going on in our city? That's all I want to know. And I'm gonna sit down and shut up, see if I can get a public answer. That's all. That's all, because I'm not the only one with issues here.
Ma'am, please.
But I'm gonna see somebody.
Respect this chamber. Please respect this chamber. Okay. Is that all, Jackie? Do I have any other news?
There's one more.
Huh?
I've already told them.
Oh, yes.
They sure do. And I knew that. Speak, but it won't let me, so after this person, you started.
Hold 1 second, please. 1 second. We'll yield to the council lady.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until they finish. I had just punched it and I didn't see it come up, so I want to let you know I do have some comments.
Okay, you'll be given that privilege.
Thank you.
Okay. I can't understand your first name. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name's Caitlin Douglas. Do I have to provide an address?
Yes.
P.O. Box something.
Sorry?
Yes. The address for the record.
912 Broadway Avenue, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay. You have 3 minutes, Ms.
Alrighty, thank you. Okay, this is my very first time attending a city council meeting. I'm 21 years old. I am obviously an African American woman. I am college educated. I'll be finishing college in 3 semesters. What bothers me is that I have lived the very few years of my life in Shreveport, and I was born and raised here. The experiences that I have experienced here are unlike none other in any other city, in any other place that I've ever visited. And the reason being for that is there have been multiple complaints, not even just today, but within my community, about the things that police do to people of color, not just black people, not just Asian people, any minority or what you would consider to be a minority. My concern is that the city of Shreveport does have very good law enforcement, but we complain about things like sagging pants when that's a form of profiling. You're giving somebody a fine, but that person could have a genius level IQ and be up to no good, but you're giving him up to a $150 fine for sagging pants. You would not have maybe guessed that I was college educated if I used my normal vernacular with my friends. But what I do and who I am is not defined by my clothes and what I wear, and it's not defined by the color of my skin either. I just want to urge the city of Shreveport, because I know that you guys don't handle that, but that's not valid. That's not good. People are complaining to you because they have issues. You are members of this community also, and you sit in a seat of power to some extent where you're able to reach out to the public. And I'm very disappointed with the mayor. And that's no offense, because I didn't vote for you, and I don't mean that in any term, negative term at all. But I didn't vote for you because I didn't think that you would fulfill the needs, and you have proven today to a young African American woman, as an older African American woman, that you have not done anything to help other African American women or other African American people. People have this woman, this beautiful woman here, just implored to you and pretty much begged to you. She could have got on the floor, and it was like you didn't even want to say anything to her. You could have addressed it if you wanted to, and you didn't. You chose not to. So that is giving a psychological message to people that you do not care about the things that they are going through. So no, we know that you cannot directly affect the situations that people are going through, but you can indirectly affect it. You have power. We don't have power. the current power that you have. If I wanted to be in one of these seats, I would have to go throughout an election. I would have to go throughout a whole process, but that takes time. Our community in Louisiana, there has been a police shooting against the black man and police shootings against police. And I was just in Dallas at a seminar, and they had enough in blue lights because police were being slain because of the mistakes of their counterparts. Being silent is a problem. If you see a problem, you should address it. I know my time has run out, but I know you cannot do anything directly, but I just want you guys to understand that people are telling you this because there is an apparent problem that is not being handled properly, and they are afraid. I know people my age who are afraid to go outside and to go to parks and to do the things that they normally do because they think that somebody is going to be out there shooting them because of what some ignorant police officer did. We should be able to have SPD knowledgeable about these laws. You can't just get somebody who took some criminal justice course out of college and then put them in law enforcement if they are not themselves fully equipped to handle what comes with that position. There should be some type of training for them to consistently be able to understand what laws that we have as civilians and what they are not allowed to do to us. And if they are wrong, it's a pride issue. It's, excuse my language, a pissing match, pretty much. It's you against them. I have dealt with that before. And I have something on my record, personally, that should have never even done, and thank God I was able to, dismiss it. But at the same time, I know my time's out, but I just want to let you know that they know that they don't have the power, that you don't have the power to change things directly, but they are telling you because they hope, and we hope that as members of this community and as members of the city of Shreveport, Bossier, that you are going to be able to at least help. And that's all I have to say.
Let me just say this, and again, our priority for the safety and well-being of the citizens of this city, all the citizens of this city. Your expressions here is not following deaf ears. We are hearing you. We care. We care about the.
But are you listening? Hearing and listening are two different things. Okay, go ahead.
You gotta know what you're saying to care. But I'm saying, and we may, and we will, as a committee within the proper structure that we are made of, can take some of the comments and expressions that was made today under consideration and advisement on what we could do. But I'm saying, as it relates to directly impacting administration.
You said that several times to several different people, so I do understand it. But okay. Continue.
And I just want to see because a lot of our citizens misunderstand the scope of what we do, and that we could actually direct and dispatch and be held whole department heads or the mayor accountable, and that's again out of our purview. But at the same time, hearing the combination of things that are being said, it gives us the opportunity to think about some things that we may need to add or legislate that could have some impact on what we've heard. You're welcome to come back and speak to this council at any time. Thank you very much.
Oliver almost had me under his spell.
Who did?
Councilman Jenkins.
Hey, quit
I was transmitting positive thoughts to her that I thought might change the kind of atmosphere in here. So I was really focused on that.
A beam over here then.
It made me blush. City attorney. I want to talk to somebody higher than the city attorney. No, I'm just joking. Mr. William Bradford. I'm not calling you up. I just wanted to make a joke that I want to talk to somebody higher than the city attorney. I want to start using that one.
Yeah, that's a good
one. What I want to say is, I guess what I'm hearing probably.
See, when I talk about y'all city officials ain't shit, I can say that because I have evidence. It was very funny to them that I was there begging, pleading, kissing ass, paying for help. To no avail. It was very funny. We all supposed to be stupid, I guess. I know that the city council, the mayor, or the parents or the guardians of the police department. Just like I'm a parent and I'm responsible for whatever crime my underage child commit, or whatever child that I have custody or guardianship of. If that child is underage, I'm just as responsible. They have a law, got these parents going to jail. They have to work when the kids are out breaking curfews, probably breaking laws. The parents stand up in court. I saw them arrested. I saw a lot of them on the warrant list. Showing, say, you want the parents to work, you want the parents to be there to hold the kids' hands, when in fact, you lawmakers is the reason why crime is so bad. The reason why the children don't respect the parents. They don't respect the law. You can't discipline your child because it's child abuse. No, you could say that crime wasn't that high back in the day, because it wasn't. Because them old people tore ass up. So, why the dry wig bitch trying to laugh like it's so funny? Old Lynch should have been lynched. No, I know. DOJ, I know. Attorney General. See, I know this shit, but they think that, I guess because I talk that way, I'm mad than a bitch. I knew I had a warrant. I had a warrant because I missed court on a charge that I was arrested for a crime that I ain't committed. How'd it go? Nobody but these niggas. Me today, you tomorrow. Nah, me today, you tonight. But let's continue. Sis is so funny, she need to use that one. She need to use someone of higher authority. She need to use, to hell with the city attorney. Yeah, we need somebody of higher authority. That's what we need. Then maybe the murder rate will go down. When we stop saying it's time for us to hold those elected accountable and start holding them accountable. How long are we going to say we gotta hold them? Hell no, shit. Fuck that shit. When it spilled over to the other zip code, Baby Landry, I bet we got action. Shateri Payne got action. Why every citizen can't get the same action? Been trying to see y'all. Y'all would never, ever get crime down until you start talking to the people who are committing crimes. Till you start talking to the people who you think is crazy. What?
Mama.
But.
Mama.
What?
I brush my teeth.
You brush your teeth? Okay. Let's continue.
Confession from a budding political heavyweight in Shreveport. 16 years ago, Councilman Jerry Bowman, who currently represents District G, got in trouble with the law not a lot of people knew until now. I think people will respect you more if you know you're just being a straight-up honest person, confessed Bowman. In an explosive moment of truth, Councilman Bowman took a just a quick word from our sponsor. Deep breath and shared his worst regret. Someone stated that they were going to go live with it. I told him they'd be doing me a favor, said Bowman. Instead of waiting for someone to out his gritty past, Bowman is telling it himself. What did you do? KTBS 3 asked. It was theft, said Bowman. We asked Bowman when he ran for office if he had disclosed this information on his campaign paperwork. Bowman said no. Police reports show back in 2004, when Bowman was 31 years old, he and others faced felony charges for stealing money from a car rental agency. Bowman admitted he was accused of stealing $10,000. To stave off career debilitating charges in 2005, Bowman pled guilty to a lesser charge of misdemeanor theft. He got probation and made restitution. But his worst punishment, Bowman says, was disappointing his mother, the venerable former Caddo Commissioner and City Councilwoman Joyce Bowman, a woman who prided herself on being a voice for the voiceless and personal responsibility. It was the hurt in her eyes, that's what got me. My mom was my rock, my best friend, and I never want to see her hurt. When I saw that look in her eye, I knew then that was it, added Bowman. Bowman says his redemption began with his mother's sage advice before she passed away. She told me the same thing the judge told me, everyone has to be accountable for their actions, Bowman recalls. She said, I love you. I support you. But everyone has to be accountable for their actions, added Bowman. Bowman says he turned his life around by first changing his circle of friends. He became a deacon in his church, volunteered as a mentor, and eventually ran for his mother's city council seat. He knows many may be disappointed, but he swears he's a changed man. KTBS 3 asked Bowman, once a thief, always a thief? Bowman responded, I don't believe that. I believe in God, and I believe God gave me a second chance, and that's my thought, and grace and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. Grace may follow Bowman's life, but does Bowman extend it to others? I didn't do anything but the press charges, which I thought was right to protect myself, Bowman says, explaining his reason for pressing charges against a constituent. According to a request for a restraining order, on November 10, constituent Melvin Slack, who was unhappy with City Hall and Bowman, approached him after a neighborhood function and threatened him. Bowman filed a police report and was granted a temporary restraining order against Slack. January 12, a district court judge is scheduled to hold a hearing on making that order permanent, but Bowman says he has changed his mind and plans to drop the complaint. Like his own life, he says Slack deserves a second chance. A truce that allows them to agree to disagree. I want to be the bigger person to let things go and to solve it in a non-violent way, said Bowman. A decision, Bowman says, would make his mother proud. Everyone does deserve a second chance. We have a forgiving God, and I think everyone needs to follow that and learn from their mistakes, Bowman reiterated. KTBS 3 tried to contact Melvin Slack multiple times for his take on the story, but we were unsuccessful. Bowman says his attorney will drop the complaint before the January court date, and Bowman will start 2017 focused on his new position as City Council Vice Chairman. Political insiders claim Bowman is being mentioned as a candidate for Shreveport mayor in 2 years. He won't rule that out, but says right now he is only committed to running for city councilman again. As for the theft case, Bowman went to court this fall and asked for an expungement. A judge granted his request. The paperwork on removing the case from public record is still being finalized.
Then we can't get nothing. We can't get nothing. So then we feel like we gotta take LaTanya Kemp, 6353 Crosswind Drive, Shreveport, Louisiana. I came to speak about crime and intervention. Some of you are aware of some of the experiences that I have had. I had meetings here before. My brother was savagely murdered here. And to this day, it'll be a year that he got shot up on Juella this month, a couple days after his birthday. However, a year prior to that, I was right here, standing right here, addressing the issue about the crime. And you know, people coming to the police, we come to y'all, we ask for help, we ask for assistance, and then we can't get nothing. We can't get nothing. So then we feel like we gotta take matters into our own hands. You know, if we can't get legal justice, like me, I believe in street justice. Y'all, except most of y'all know me, y'all know that. Mr. Perkins, you have had a chance to deal with my daughter, Raquel. Personal experience, very intelligent, 5.0 GPA, 3 kids, all 3 of them top of the school, National Honor Society, military, college, educated. So you sit here and you judge people like me based on my delivery, but you have no clue of my history and my experiences. So you can't receive the message because of the messenger. I acknowledge, I appreciate the gentleman that got up and spoke about intervention, because that's one of our biggest problems. The youth, the kids have nothing to do. They're bored. They're bored. You want to go build a dog park, a fish aquarium, when you could give a baby a Cheerio in a string and you'll have to fight them to take it out their hand, but you want to spend all this money downtown. Then you don't even want to pay the people for building the aquarium. You know, they bored. You might get something on your record, and then now you have a history. You're a failure. So it's jobs that you don't qualify for. You get people broke, they mad, they tired, they frustrated, they hungry, they bills due, they getting cut off. So they feel like they back against the wall. And me, I'm gonna come out. See, a lot of us are not being heard. I came to that police station. I came stood right here, and Mr. Breath, I was out of order. I would not call him. My representatives, you people are not, because y'all don't represent people like me. You can't pick and choose who you want to serve. Now, it's been a year. My brother got shot 17 as of yesterday, after one of my legal, my attorneys advised me to speak with you, because I explained my situation. And I have a problem with, when I addressed you, I appreciate that you gave me a chance to have a meeting with the chief. May I please? I didn't come for any kind of confrontation. I just want to be heard.
Motion to extend.
Motion to extend. That's what you need to do. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. But I never heard back from you, Mr. Raymond. I never heard back. I emailed the detectives yesterday. They blocked me. Now my brother is murdered. Nobody's done anything. And see, and I stopped getting mad a long time ago. I started getting even. A lot of us are not mad enough. You know, the lack of knowledge is death. No one has had the battle, and a lot of us just don't know. Some people just don't care. But I do. I do. I demand justice for my brother. We need better programs for the youth. They can get these bunch of cell phones. They ain't got nothing to do but sit up and be messy all day on Facebook. Get mad and go kill somebody. So, you know, I'm at a point, I'm begging for help. I done begged for help. I'm not asking, I'm not begging anymore. The difference, all lives matter. It's not just black lives. I don't know who came up with it. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. And because it's being repeated and it's stupid, because we had a chance to think about it before we repeated it, all lives matter. And I'm going to say something that I don't mean any harm. The officer, Payne, was murdered. That was my god brother that was involved. And I got a problem with somebody said this, but then you have evidence of somebody in my brother's homicide have yet to be picked up.
Mr. Chairman, it's your time to keep
I just want, cause see, I'm at a point, it's like I said, it's the anniversary, and I'm at the point to where, like I said, I don't get mad, I get even. I calm down because I saw the mayor doing things and I saw moves being made. But ain't none being made on my behalf for my brother. I've been his representative. See, when we get up to talk, we got to walk like we talk, and we got to step like we rep. And y'all are not doing that. I can't say him or her, but I know some of the people that I've had experiences in contact with, we're not doing it. Cooper Road, what's the difference? What with the other people? They forget where they come from.
Let's jump, I tell you what.
Come on now, Mr. Denise. You know you never got back with me. Never got back with me. I just, y'all know my record as long as this thing. I appreciate it.
When I tried to contact you again, we've had several conversations, okay?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to put that on the record.
Right.
And when I tried to contact you, you weren't available for me to talk to.
Oh, after they took me to jail?
I don't want to say it, you said it.
I'm going to say it. That's right. But I called you after that.
Wait a minute, I let you talk.
Right, you're right.
And then I had the officer to contact you after the fact. Now, what happened after our chief of police left? I don't know what happened after that. I do not know. But I asked him, and he gave me his word that they would contact you.
Nobody.
I didn't know that.
From that day to this day.
I didn't know that.
I even sent out for you on Facebook and everything else. And that's why I said that day, why do every time.
I'm allowed the mayor to speak, and then your time is up. I'm allowed the mayor to speak, and then we'll go from there. But if someone will contact me.
Yeah, you know, I heard that. I still never. Okay, sir.
Ms. Kemp, I reiterate, I'm sure I did in my email. I'm so sorry for your loss. You know, it is our obligation to serve our citizens. I get a lot of emails. I forward them to department heads that can handle it. And our chief of police is sitting right over there. You two can step outside and chat right now. But don't think that it was any kind of neglect or me trying to blow you off or anything. It's my job to help you, and like I said, we're gonna do all that we can to.
In the meeting, I even asked him. I mean, he was on his phone the biggest of the time. I said, I mean, you're not paying attention to me and what I'm talking about? I asked them if I could contact them about update, and I only asked them about an update, but they blocked me. So you're letting me know that my problem is not a concern to you.
Let's go. One contact.
Okay, I'm just saying, okay, the anniversary is coming up. You know, I'm tired of going to jail, but somebody have to make the sacrifice. I don't mind, y'all know I don't mind. I don't mind. Somebody got to stand up for something because everybody falling for nothing. Oh, and one more thing. When I leave, could they? No, excuse me. The last meeting, they talked about me so bad, they still kept running live and laughed and everything after I cried out for help. It was funny that I even came and addressed the issues. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. That's I'm used to it. That's fine. I'm just saying, sometimes, you know, the misunderstanding bring understanding. I bet I get some attention when I get my next. Okay. I ain't worried. Oh, baby, the law. I know it. I ain't worried about that. I'm not worried about that. But I tell you, I believe in the Constitution and the legislation. I got 29 federal lawsuits against SPD. See, I ain't worried. Oh, baby. He was here last time I went to jail. They ran out here.
Yeah.
They ran out here. But see, they just know my state cases. They don't know why I was in the feds. So they need to check that out too. Justin Kemp stopped his shop up there in Motown. Got shot 7 times. And my brother lived, that God is so good, he lived for 7 months. Got shot in the head, 3 to the head, 1 pierced his brain, till he got shot. He took 3 in the head, 1 in the face, 1 in the neck, 1 in the back, and he swallowed 1.
That's what they do.
That's about Shreveport?
No. No, but one of the city officials, one of the people who was involved is related to a city official. And then one of them had the nerve to send a condolence card to my brother's funeral and had it red eye. It's like you just sit there and everybody turned their back and you laughed and winked your eye and blew me a kiss. Disrespect.
You don't have no respect for our
See, I'm not even worried about the killers no more.
You don't have no respect.
Listen to what I'm saying. None of us work for jail. I understand your mind.
You're not.
But none of us work for jail.
I'm going to jail for what? What did I do? Exactly. I'm addressing my concern.
I'm saying in the past.
Y'all not listening.
What I'm saying is in the past, she was taken out in the car. That's why I
don't want that to happen today. I came to talk about being arrested for none of that. Beg the police.
Listen, baby, I was here with you when you
I know you were.
They don't want you, and this is part of your job too, brother. And that's why it's time for you to step up.
It's time for all of them to step up.
Because when black people come down here and talk, The first thing
they run out there to that crime scene. They run in them crime scenes and get on the news like they for us. They not for us.
We need people that's gonna stand up.
But you cut me off, and I'm trying to give you the feedback. I understand the plan. I understand. But when it's something so serious, well, why should you? I appreciate it. Y'all say people don't come to y'all. When we come into the police and we talking to the police about something that's going on prior to the tragic. See, that's an intervention. That's a preventive. They don't care. The police so trifling and they'll go out and tell the people where you're in and what you said and what you did. Then you talk about who killed who. They gonna tell who told what. But then when the people telling it, ain't nobody going to do nothing. I played tapes, I showed videos, and people admitted in my book.
That's why you need to get more people like that into this room.
And I said, you know what you're talking about? They can come for me because I'm telling you everything I know. I'm going to tell you. Because see, God is with me. She has a right. And I'm through praying for people. I'm praying on you.
You don't have to be removed out of here.
I got him last time. I done been gracious to public.
You can say what you need to say and express yourself.
Then we can't talk. We can talk, but we ain't being heard. How you hear everything I'm saying? My concern, if you giving me a task, I gotta skip and jump and hop, and then you don't even know everything. See, we can all stay together, but we can't talk together. No, it's not. My brother is dead. Dead. Terry, I ain't worried, but see, my brother's life supposed to be less valuable and important than Terry. And I intend to file an injunction about this $500,000 because she was not on duty. And no offense to the family, but right is right and wrong is wrong. I had to struggle to get back and forth to take care of my brother's service when he was murdered on these savage streets. The city had reached out to me, an official that was related to that boy who said my brother upset the card to my brother's services.
You're right.
Chucky, y'all know where I come from and you know what I do. I'm not asking nobody else for nothing no more. See, I get attention. No, ma'am, thank I am all right because I got God. I ain't worried about what they do or don't do. I'm finna go because I'm late for church and everything. I got a blessing out of this, what they did to my brother. They ran me back to God.
But God gonna get him praise.
Oh yeah, yes, because I'm praying on him.
That's right.
I ain't praying for him, I'm praying on him.
That's right. He gonna get him. Don't worry about every last one of them. Come on, y'all.
And they sit up, and the people that they don't want to talk to, they don't want to hear me. I'm the one you need to talk to, because I'm the one mad. Mad hurt people is mad people, and mad people and see, I stopped getting mad a long time ago. I started getting easy.
That's right, but it's okay.
Since my brother dead, I don't even want them people who killed my brother no more. But guess what? I'm going behind one of they people so they can feel like I feel. So they can feel like I feel. Then they say about who can't make it to the meeting. You got people disabled. You got people that ain't got no way, unfortunately, ain't got no ride, don't know nothing about no bus. How they gonna get down here? You only want to run out to the neighborhoods when you're trying to run for elective. You don't need any people don't care. But I'll back off the hood. I'll be back on the national news again. I come to them people quiet. I come to calm. They don't like that. I get ignored when I go. I went to jail 5 times for absolutely nothing. I'm still going to court right now because somebody lied on me for 3 years. I get a check crazy. They say I'm crazy. So guess what? I don't get no extra income for running down here using gas. Oh yes, I am. Everything I went through made me strong.
Let me tell you about
listen to me. Listen. No, you don't. No, you don't see that's where you're messing up at. For years, experiences has educated me. So knowledge I have. You know, you coming in on the end. We gotta start at the beginning. You don't know how much I done been through, how much I done cried after these people.
Talk to me.
Before I got mad, I wasn't even mad. I said, well, Lord, I'm gonna let the people handle it.
Talk to me.
I ran to them people, I gave them people, everybody involved, they claimed they didn't know nothing. 12 hours, my brother was still getting his head sewed up.
How long did this business happen?
It'll be a year on the 29th. I just buried my brother. He lived for 7 months, got hit 7 times, but the boy who set him up related to a city council. And he got nerve to send a condolence card. I don't even know this man. Baby. Yeah. Man, all I can say, I done been on all the news. Y'all can look me up.
We gonna do
I'm tired. See, sometimes the only time we can get attention is when it's a tragedy. And everybody want to come run. If it don't come run, say nothing to me.
You just said something and it made a whole lot of sense. I have came in on the end. Oh, that's my call. You keep.
Oh, okay.
I have came in on the
Who asked for my?
I want you.
Okay.
So you can inform me on what's going on.
Oh, man, you can look me up, my brother. I want my all on the internet because I done know city, state, and fed. They know I don't mind because that's why I wanted to come here. But so I know one thing. They going to have to come to court. Because see, I'm gonna make sure I do everything I do to get to try to get what I need done. And then I have to go do something drastic. Then I have to go before the judge who gonna hear it from the beginning to the end.
We gonna do. Call me. Anybody that know me know.
What's your brother's name?
Justin Kemp's daughter. He worked in Concord, drove that green Cadillac. These Iranians who they got all the money for, but our sisters and brothers running around here robbing, stealing, and killing for the feed they children. Shit,
we on that same fight. We on that same fight, baby.
My cousin got this today. She said it was somebody Williams, Councilman Williams. But I sent the detective to record what she told me. Because she was finna lock him up and all this and that. And then all of a sudden one day she gonna tell me I can't make her lock nobody up. You're absolutely right. Under the Constitution, I can't make you lock nobody up. But one of my civil rights is I have the same right as anybody else. If you got justice, then I got the same right to get it. Just it'll be a year on the 25th. My brother I just buried him in March, in April.
So this year?
I don't even think it was him no more. I think it was the one who sent me that condolences card in the front, Sam Sottle, I want to say. And they gonna come reading this after one of them, and they covering up my brother's murder. Everything gonna record these people admitting their involvement in my brother's murder, and not one person I blow this bitch apart. And that's so his dead. LaTanya Kemp, 6.
Oh, and what y'all said about the NAACP? Because we see what kind of people they have representing them, have had. They'll still be in there if they hadn't got exposed. You know, y'all homeboys and homegirls.
Alex Anderson.
I'm Terry Simmons. Thanks for joining us.
We're following up on Mayor Adrian Perkins' security detail, a rotation of SPD officers who accompany Perkins to events, sometimes out of town. Recall from our report 2 weeks ago that an officer claimed 68 hours of overtime pay to escort Perkins to the Essence Festival in New Orleans. The mayor's office says the security team is needed because threats have been made against Perkins. So we asked the city of Shreveport for all Shreveport police records of threats against Mayor Perkins, and this is what came back. 2 police reports. One indicates Mayor Perkins was threatened on Facebook in December of 2019. The name of who made the threat is left off the complaint. The other record is from June of 2020. That's when a woman went to Government Plaza, who, it says, wanted to talk to Mayor Perkins about her brother's unsolved murder. It says she became belligerent and made verbal threats to staff inside the building when told she needed to set an appointment. It says she was allowed to leave, but the woman went and sat in her car outside Government Plaza. An officer arrived to calm her down and enabled her to talk with Mayor Perkins by phone. But 2 officers said in their reports the woman did not make a threat to harm any specific person, and there were no direct threats. That woman is Tanya Kemp.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's how they lied. They love to lie. They lied on me. My brother, it was the anniversary was coming up again, again today. I mean, his birthday. I was at the cemetery. I have to go celebrate at the cemetery.
Kemp remains bitter that police have been unable to solve her brother's murder. Justin Kemp was mortally wounded in a shooting outside a convenience store at Jewella and Greenwood Road on this day 4 years ago. That's despite surveillance video from the scene. According to what Tanya Kemp says, she was not. Kemp was not arrested when she sought out.
Oh, and what y'all said about the NAACP? Because we see what kind of people they have representing them, have had. They'll still be in there if they hadn't got exposed. You know, y'all homeboys and homegirls. And with all of this being said, with all of this being shown, I rest my case. The only thing that I agree with is if we want something different, we have to do something different. And that's why I voted for the white man. Because, see, it's been our own kind that's failed us over and over and over and over and over.